Hey, it's Giguk, and you're watching Pixel Party Pals. Woo! I got it right on my first take. It is!
Right. Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm really sorry for the terrible lighting. The spotlight that I usually use has decided to break on me. It's only a matter of time. It has been struggling. So I'm now using this very tiny little portable light that I have, which is doing absolutely nothing really. And I've put the torch on my phone and put it on a stand. So that's why it's so shadowy. But and it's blinding me actually because there's no filter over it. But yes, it's what we do. It's what I've always done. We adapt and we keep going. We've got a video from Giguk today. When an anime leaves you speechless, number 2. I double checked on the number 1. It was like a year ago, and I do remember it being very emotional. There was that big speech bit where the girl kept going on for ages and da da da. So I'm intrigued to see what we have this time. So yeah, let's get into it. When an anime leaves you speechless. Fate Zero, let's go.
Search up great
Or was it? Oh, I can't remember.
anime moments in Google, and I swear you'll see the same 20 iconic scenes on every list. Goku goes Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
Gear 5, Erwin's speech. These are all iconic moments that became iconic for a reason. But sometimes there are moments in anime that have stuck with me that might not exactly tick all the boxes for what people count as iconic.
Oh, Eden of the
Scenes
East.
that I rarely see talked about, yet for one reason or another, I cannot forget. And about 2 years ago, I made a video talking about a collection of such scenes, but that was a longer video and I had so much more I wanted to still talk about, so here I am with another one. Are
Right.
these necessarily the most iconic, the most famous, or maybe even the most talked about scenes from their respective shows? No. Is this video just my excuse to talk about a bunch of anime I love but don't have enough to say to make a full
Hell
video?
yeah.
Look, maybe, but just let me have this one, okay? Look, here's Songjin Woo. He has Aura. Ooh. Arise. There, I talked about solo leveling.
Yay!
Again, I'm obviously going to be spoiling the scenes I talk about, so I'll be sure to mention the exact show and episode before I talk about them.
I'm not really too fussed on spoilers I've found recently because my memory's awful. So I tend to forget until I'm watching it and then I go, hey, wait a minute, where have I seen this or heard of this before?
But you can also be a degenerate like me and decide to watch some shows based on some out-of-context scene you discover on YouTube Shorts. But this is going to be way better than that, I swear.
Okay.
You're not even going to need the Secret Grindset song in the background to watch them.
So, if there's any confusion with the lighting, so I just sat through the original promo. I always cut promos out, sorry, it's just 'cause I don't think you guys are here for seeing that and in the reactions. So I've turned the switch off and on, and the light's working for now. But in case it turns off, I've still got those 2 other lights blaring me in the face so that we still have some sort of lighting. Let's get into number 5.
Anime flashbacks. Love them or hate them, you're going to see them. A lot of them. They come in all shapes and every genre of anime you can think of, and it is hard to just pick one to talk about. So I'm just going to pick one that left a lasting impression on me while capturing everything the series is about. The ice skating scene from Death Parade, episode 11.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, okay.
An elevator opens. Sorry. No! A lift opens, and you emerge into a bar with another
We're English, that's what we say.
person. You have no memory of how you got there, what you were doing before, or
don't
where
like
you are
Death
now.
Parade,
A
well.
well-dressed gentleman greets you and tells you, so, 2 dead people walk into a bar. Okay, and? What's the joke? You're then told you have to play a series
The
of
darts.
games with your life.
I mean, this wasn't alright. They have alright moments, but as a whole, I just didn't enjoy the
On
series.
the line, no Squid Game. And as you do, visions, memories slowly
Yeah,
emerge,
this
stopping
was
you
good.
in your tracks as you begin to realize that you are dead. Everything you
And it's how they died and who was responsible. Yeah,
know
this
is gone.
was
All
okay.
these
This
fun
was
games
okay.
you're playing will determine whether your soul is going to heaven or hell. And then it hits you. What is this? Some kind of death parade? Everybody, put your hands up. Death Parade was a series that'll give you more existential dread than 5 minutes in the shitter with an out-of-battery phone. A show that truly put the die in Daijobu, where a bunch of smarmy bartenders get to decide whether your soul is worth going through eternal damnation because you can't hit a single triple 20 in darts. And this is the game you'll be playing today. I'm already in hell, aren't I? Yep. But there's one person who seems like an anomaly for the entire series, who, unlike the rest of the staff, seems oddly human.
Yeah.
She questions the whole process, brings doubt into every judgment, and pretty soon you figure out that she's not like the rest of them. But then the question lingers throughout.
Why?
Who is she?
Yeah.
Where did she come from? Where did she go?
Where did she come
Where
from?
did you come from?
Cotton Eye Joe?
The series holds and holds right up until episode 11, where it finally pulls the trigger, revealing her backstory in a manner that has stuck with me to this day.
Oh,
One scene,
okay.
one track. No dialogue, just a single beautiful performance.
Okay, yeah, I can't knock him for picking this.
The song starts and you think,
Yeah.
my personal favorite genre.
Right, yeah, okay. Sorry, I went into this very, very negatively. Like, Death Parade's got some really good moments, and this actually, now I'm remembering it, is actually a really nice moment. When you start getting the reveal of who she is and that, it's like, okay. Everything else, I'm just kind of like,
Genre of music, emotional damage. Through
Emotional
this we are told
damage.
everything we would ever need to know. A story of a simple girl who fell in love with a sport, intertwined with a simply spellbinding performance. It's just beautiful. I think what I love about the scene is the symphony of conflicting emotions that come with it. The happiness, the melancholy, the fulfilling sense of emptiness, all working in tandem with this hauntingly beautiful
There's the light
track.
gone.
In 5 minutes, this one scene captures what 10 episodes of Death Parade had done previously without uttering a single word. And as you get more and more absorbed with her performance, you can't help but fight this feeling of dread. You know where she is. You know.
Yeah, there's a
what
reason.
this
There's a reason she's there, and we're about to learn why, and it's like, oh god.
show's about. The dread lingers and lingers, building up to the climax of her performance, of her story, of her entire life. Until, eventually, it all comes crashing down. This one's really going to split the age demographic of this video. Our childhood years are some of the
Sailor
most
Moon!
formative years of our lives. And there are
okay.
moments in anime that have formed a collective core memory for the generation of kids watching.
Sorry about the
them.
lighting, I
pure
tried.
shock as Pikachu cried while Ash turned into stone. The excitement seeing you
Exodia!
Exodia against Kaiba. But the one scene that brings that wave of nostalgia while
Digimon.
still fully holding up no matter how much older I get is Omnimon's transformation
Yes.
from Digimon the movie. How do I
Mate,
even set
yes.
the stage for this? The year is 2000.
One accident like that, man.
The turn of the millennium. People are freaking out over Y2K, and about 40% of you watching this
And there's a movie coming out called Y2K. I tried to explain to people about the Millennium Bug, and they were like, that wasn't a thing. It's like, no, people generally thought everything was going to crash and get destroyed as soon as it hit midnight for 2000. But now they're making a horror movie about it. Well, horror movie, yeah.
right now have not even been born yet. Jesus Christ. The mainline TV series is over, the world has been saved, and
This
our
movie's
protagonist's
great.
journey have come to an end. But then, out of nowhere, comes a sequel movie directed by Mamoru Hosoda, who would go on to become one of the most critically acclaimed directors anime has ever seen. Yeah, can you say that, Pokemon kids? I don't know why I'm still trying to fight this fight. We had no hope in hell. Okay. This movie was far too good for any kid to
Yeah.
truly appreciate, and looking back, I swear it's the most millennial coded shit anime has ever seen.
You're an all-star. Get your game on. Go
This is a
play.
real scene in the movie. I am not joking.
He's tone deaf.
So here, when a brand new super evil villain appears, most of the OG team is busy, save for these four, and also Sora. But she didn't want to contribute, because being useful would be out of character for her.
Stupid tie.
Enter Dioboromon, a Digimon computer virus hybrid. Since McAfeemon and Nortonmon weren't installed and people didn't know any better than to open files in an email from a Nigerian prince, Dioboromon starts fucking everyone up.
There it
And
is.
I mean everyone.
Yeah.
Nothing with an internet connection is safe. The phones are dead. He's launched some nukes and nobody can seemingly stop him. He destroys the two heroes' most powerful Digimon, leaving them closer to death than you'd ever seen as a kid. And to add insult to injury, he's made over 1 million copies of himself when our heroes could barely manage to make it out alive when there
Yeah.
was just one of him. My brain could not comprehend how they were going to get out
So
of this
sick.
situation. There was no hope. There were no more options. And that's when this happens.
Yeah.
Combining? They're fucking combining!
Yeah, they are.
Or Greymon.
Dark Metal Garurumon.
They digivolve together to become.
Look, I'm pretty sure there is something coded into every young boy's DNA to find the concept of two or more things combining to make
Yeah.
even bigger, more powerful things
Hell yeah.
the most exciting thing
Yeah,
ever.
that's what we
So
want.
imagine how it was as a kid to see the two most iconic Digimon coming together to make an even cooler one, whilst an epic orchestral version of the theme song plays in the background.
That is also
Then, right
something
after,
that added
he
to
parries
it,
a
yes.
million attacks while Scar music starts playing, as Omnimon starts deleting all the enemies on screen while shouting the sickest attack names ever.
Transcendent sword!
Yo.
I remember back then, a girl, an actual girl, gave me a completely unprompted, genuine compliment. And this shit was still my highlight of that year. This, right here, seeing the explosions fill up the screen.
It's so
Omnimon
cool.
cements
It's
himself
such a
as
good
being the
movie.
coolest thing I'd ever seen. Finishing things off with the hypest attack battle cry in this entire movie, which somehow isn't Transcendent Sword or Supreme Cannon. It's fucking Izzy shouting,
You got mail!
Yeah, you got it. Terminated.
the cultural significance of that is lost on you. It's like watching fucking Gojo gearing up for the killing blow, but then coldly saying some shit like, "Skibidi toilet." And somehow making that moment hit. Digimon the movie was an absolute fucking enigma for a kids movie. It was so
Oh my
bloody good that
God.
Mamoru Hosoda would need to remake it again. Twice.
Right, we got a shonen moment then. What we got? What action moment
When
we
we
got?
think anime action scenes, 90% of the time we think fights.
Yeah.
Hand-to-hand combat, sword fighting, ridiculous anime superpowers where they give a fighter some, I don't know, corrosive breast milk they fire using hair shaped like hands to squeeze
No.
down on their chest. That's a real power.
Oh.
And yet the average Baki fan would call that normal. In terms of anime fights, there are too many examples to count of moments that have taken my breath
Yo,
away.
Animatrix.
What we don't see too often in anime is getting down and dirty with some more gritty action. I'm talking John Wick, Die Hard, old school 80s action movies, and in that vein, no singular moment of action has sold me faster on a show than the Apache helicopter standoff from Black Lagoon, Episode 2.
I still
Black
need to
Lagoon is
watch
an
this
I don't
anime,
hear too many
man.
people talk about nowadays, and I realize that's because it is now as old to modern day anime coming out today as the original Dragon Ball is to when Black Lagoon first started airing.
Oh.
This was the no bullshit action show.
Yeah, I
following
need
the
to see
lives of
this.
Modern day pirates living in a place where the average resident wakes up to a city in tatters, having to spend every single day fighting for their lives because PvP is permanently turned on.
Ah, fucking fuck.
I think I know a bloke who lived there
Fucking
once.
fuck. Birmingham!
If you like John Wick, well, imagine a world where there are dozens of them. Except
Nice,
they are all
cool.
crazy hot anime girls with enough screws loose to assemble a fucking IKEA dining
Yo.
table. And was absolute crack to my teenage brain. I'm pretty sure this show single-handedly ruined my taste in women before my prefrontal cortex had fully developed, and I have never recovered since. It's in your face, politically incorrect, pushing your sense of disbelief to its limits with enough explosions to finish up a microwave sesh. If The Rule of Cool was a series, this was it. And it only took 2 episodes for one scene to let you know exactly what kind of ride you were about to
Well,
get
what
on.
happens in this?
Let me set the scene.
Okay.
It's episode 2. Our crew is on the run from a bloody attack helicopter and they are pinned down inside of a mangrove. It's a dead end.
Whoa.
They've got nowhere else to run.
Oh no, this is so tense.
With a simple ship with no anti-air capabilities and the prospect of having to go face to face with a helicopter with enough firepower to become part of NATO,
Jeez.
things are looking dicey. That is, until the newest crew member comes up with a suggestion proving that somehow, in a city with mercenaries, gangster leaders, shotgun nuns, and a bloody man from Florida, no one is more insane than a repressed Japanese salaryman with nothing to lose.
This boat's armaments and speed, that sunken ship we passed, I'm pretty sure we have everything we need.
I recognize his voice. Isn't that like Yagami's voice?
I say we go face to face with these guys.
It is.
Are you retarded?
The boat sets off, and you start thinking, no, surely, they wouldn't, right? At this point, your posture changes from this to this.
You're about to get fucked, baby!
The anticipation continues to build. The adrenaline starts pumping as the boat gets closer and closer. You hear,
300 feet to go.
no way this is happening, nah, no way.
150.
Holy shit, they're doing it. They're actually fucking doing it.
100.
Is this really happening? And then,
Oh! Whoa! That's so cool. I love that. I love John Wick shit, so that is just like amazing. They ramped the boat.
that is how to sell me on a show.
Yo.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
We got Yu-Gi-Oh! What
How
are we doing?
do you introduce a villain? Well, Anime has taught us that you have many options. Aura, dropping them in the moment you least expect it. Aura, having them solo an entire army of people by themselves. Aura, give them the most badass theme song you can think of. Aura. Oh, and how can I forget? Aura. But the one introduction I will never forget is Shogo Makishima's from Psycho Pass episode 11.
Right.
Alright, so technically this isn't the first time we see him, but this is the first time we get to see what he's all about.
Yeah,
and
when
this
he
scene
does,
alone
yeah,
catapults him into
whoa.
the Hall of Fame of greatest anime villains by completely breaking the world of Psycho Pass. This series is all about the Sybil system, a supercomputer that is able to analyze people's psychological aptitude that determines every major decision a person can do, where they go to school, what jobs they can get. And that includes how likely someone is to commit a
kill
crime
someone,
in the form
yeah.
of their crime coefficient, which the police can conveniently
Think, can't even remember the name of the film that Tom Cruise was in. But think that.
measure using their specialized guns. A low score indicates a healthy, law-abiding individual where the gun will be locked, unable to shoot, while a high crime coefficient is what the average person feels when they forget they have a water bottle while walking past TSA. And depending on how high it is, this can unlock the gun from stun to lethal force. The important thing to note is that things can happen that can spontaneously increase someone's crime coefficient, like going through a traumatic event or hitting the go live button on Kick. Enter Shogo Makishima, an infamous criminal that seems to be the binding link across every case we've seen in the series thus far. And most recently, he sent the police on a wild goose chase by kidnapping the best friend of our main protagonist, Akane. That is, until Akane catches up to him, leading to this standoff.
Mate.
Okay. Pause. As soon as the scene started, you knew something was about to go down. You got the stakes. A psycho mass murderer carrying a shotgun with the best friend of a righteous cop who had put her trust into the system she represents, who is also armed. Both within line of sight without being able to reach each other. This setup didn't have a Chekhov's gun. It was a full-on bloody firing squad. Because up till now, nothing had truly happened to Rattle Akane, but this time felt different. You're not sure what, but something is going to go wrong.
Something's off,
And as
yeah.
you watch the scene unfold, it induces so much squeaky bum tension, my farts would have sounded like Mariah Carey hitting her highest kettle notes. The first alarm bells start ringing when Akane points the Dominator at him and horrifyingly finds out that Makishima is normal.
Yeah.
Even while actively committing a crime, while torturing her friend, his mind is so
So mad.
inconceivably twisted that he sees himself as doing
The
nothing
right thing,
wrong.
yeah.
And Sybil agrees. She physically cannot take the shot. This is when Makishima offers her an out. He throws her the old-fashioned shotgun and steps out into the open,
like, go on.
forcing her to take a shot,
Go on.
ignore the system, and make the choice to kill. Murder someone herself, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, so he's like gonna bait her into shooting. She accidentally kills her friend, leaving her with a guilty conscience, messing up her psychopath, and then... And that's the moment you get the sinking realization that what he wants to do is so much worse. What makes this scene truly terrifying is how it's able to portray the feeling of being completely helpless. As
can't do
utterly
anything.
desperate as Akane is to stop him, she's been conditioned to trust in a system that refuses to listen to her in her biggest time of need. And she can do nothing but witness the horror unfold in front of her eyes. Here is a character that can make you feel completely powerless, not because he has a high power level or he just beat up one of the strongest characters
Because
in
of
the
what
show,
he
but by
believes
his
is right.
sheer existence
Yeah.
in this world. Akane continues to frantically point her gun at him, yet his crime coefficient keeps ticking down, lower and lower, almost as if it's a countdown to the inevitable. She pleads with him. Her friend begs for her life, but there is absolutely nothing they can do. Ending things off with one of the most chilling things you can hear in this universe.
犯罪係数0
And the only thing left is for Makishima to leave his mark as one of the greatest anime villains to ever grace our screens.
Boom.
In short, Aura.
Yeah. Well, we got number one then.
Great writing, insane plot twists, interesting characters, all noise distracting you from the one thing that truly matters. Vibes. There are moments in
Yo,
anime that leave an imprint
vibes.
on me because simply the vibe was immaculate. A culmination of the aesthetic, the music, the mood, the atmosphere, all coming together to form an experience that sticks with you, even if you don't fully understand why. And no scene encapsulates this more perfectly than the motorbike scene from Terror in Resonance Episode 4.
Never seen it.
Shinichiro
Damn,
Watanabe
I've
is no
seen this
stranger
as
to
well.
vibes. Kids on the Slope has my favorite music performers of all time. Cowboy Bebop was iconic in just about every single
Yeah,
aspect.
goddamn.
Samurai Champloo helped popularize an entire genre of music that is
yeah.
still a part of pop culture today. If there was a CEO of vibes, this man would be it. And yet I still think the unique atmosphere he crafted in Terran Resonance remains unmatched. This series, in my opinion, has the best soundtrack in anime. Bar none. Every track is a chilling experience that pierces the soul. Icelandic songs that can soothe the flames of hell, and he puts it with an anime about blowing up buildings and setting the world on fire. Never before has destruction been so serene. Chaos so calm.
what moment then is it?
Goddamn beautiful. Was the writing perfect? No. Was it the cleanest execution in the world? No. But there are scenes in this anime that invoke feelings I have yet to experience again to this day, and maybe never will. The final climax, the Ferris wheel scene, and of course, this one. At this point, the main plotline of the episode has just been resolved. Our protagonists have sent the police into a frenzy by dropping a virtual bombshell on the world. No buildings are getting blown up today. The commotion is over. Everyone is given a brief moment to breathe.
Okay.
And then you hear this.
Someone tell me how I got here.
The song starts as the motorbike glides through the dazzling city lights. The girl, still fearful, gripping for her life, decides to open her eyes, and what she is greeted with is pure sensory poetry.
Spirits flying at the speed of light.
This right here, guys.
What a song.
Is it. And I don't even know what it is. The fear, freedom, and beauty of life all captured within a single moment. When she tilts her head and shuts her eyes, what I would give to be at the place she is at for just a second. I think what makes this brief scene one of my favorite in anime is because it so perfectly encapsulates that moment. That moment you get sometimes in your life that feels so perfect, you wish you could capture it and make it last an eternity. When, for the first time in forever, everything feels like it's come together, the bullshit noise gets drowned out, every problem you think you have gets washed away, and for that brief period, everything seems to make sense. You have no fears, no worries. You are just in the best place you can possibly be at right now, and you know it. And right then and there, you think to yourself, fuck it. You know what? Everything's gonna be alright.
I like that. Damn. So a couple of moments I was aware of, and a couple of moments that I was not. I hate this lighting. I am so sorry. I hate this. I'll try and get a new ring light. It's like, I've had it for like 2 years now, this ring light. So it's only a matter of time it was, I suppose, for it to die down. So again, sorry for the bad lighting. That was a very good video. Yeah, like the Death Parade one, I'll give you that. I don't like the anime, but that moment is really cool, and it does have its own like other good moments as well. Like some of the games are cool, some of them I was just like, yeah. The Black Lagoon one, that's really sold me on Black Lagoon. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to see that. But yeah, awesome vid. Thanks for watching.